do
hey,
what?
Try not to fuck that up.
Not to fuck it up.
Try not to fuck that up. Hey,
That's
hey.
what we gonna do.
Y'all.
What's going on, y'all? It's your girl Jodie from the TV Takeover, host of My Live Raw
Real.
And all the way live.
That's what we said. Try not to fuck this up. Try not to fuck this up.
And we did.
I knew it was going to happen.
And podcast
These
nuts.
nuts.
RGF Production.
Me boy, yeah. 1738. I'm like, hey, what's up, hello? Sent your pretty ass soon as you came in the door. I just wanna chill, got a sack for us to roll. Married to the money, introduced her to my stove. Showed her how to whip it, now she remixing for low. She my track queen, let her hit the bando. We be counting up, watch how far them bands go. We just set a goal, talking matching Lambos. At 56 a gram, 500 grams though. Man, I swear I love it, how she work the damn pole. Hit the strip club, we be letting bands go. Everybody hate who we just call them fans though. In love with the money, I ain't never letting go.
Whoa.
Hey, y'all.
What's going on?
How you doing?
So there's a reason I am wearing
Oh boy.
these Mary J. Blige. Can I have my moment?
I'm sorry. Carry
Can
on.
I have my moment?
Carry on.
Oh my God, I feel like I'm being judged.
No, not at all.
Okay. So I'm wearing my little prop today because these remind me of the Mary J. Blige Waiting to Exhale movie where, you know, Angela Bassett was going through that thing because her man left her for his white secretary.
Right.
And she had these glasses on because she was crying a lot. And, you know, so I think of broken woman. When I see these glasses, and we just so happen to be talking about a broken woman.
Whoa.
Wendy Williams.
Is she broken, y'all?
Yo.
She's going through a lot right now.
Going through it.
A lot. So that's what we're talking about. Episode 13,
Yeah.
Podcast These
Yeah.
Nuts, Wendy
Yeah.
Williams. But of course, we must take it a step deeper.
Step.
So the question today is...
What's the question, bestie?
Is Wendy Williams in an abusive relationship? That's the
Ask
question. We all know the tea. We heard everything that's
Answer my
going on. We are
bestie.
going to give you the backstory, of course.
Of course.
And
What
peel
we
back
do.
the onion, as we normally do. However, you know, I want y'all to think about that. So let's talk about last week, right? So last week,
what did we have?
we talked about Tawana Brawley.
Oh, that
she
was
forgot,
a
y'all.
good one.
Oh, did you
I
forget?
did. I had a lot going on.
So we're going to talk about today, and we have two very impactful stories, two really big stories.
Yeah.
Not to say that there aren't any others,
Right.
but two really big stories of two people who had racially charged claims that really hit the news and were a really big deal.
Right.
So we're going to talk to you guys today about Tawana Brawley
Yes.
and Jussie Smollett. And
Yes.
you may hear me call him Jussie throughout the because I just like something about Jussie.
It look like a Jussie.
It looked like a Jussie.
Yeah, it looked like a Jussie.
We talked about Tawana Brawley and
Jussie.
Jussie Smollett.
That was
right?
a good one.
Race crimes, you know, how filing false police reports impact true victims.
Yeah.
Why a person would even want to file a false crime. Like, what are they going through? What is
Right.
it that they're looking for? What's going on with them?
Right.
You
And
know,
we discovered a lot of things. A lot of it being, you know, behavioral.
Yep.
You know, or leading back to mental health.
emotion, and then yes, it did
Everything
lead back
that
to mental
we
health.
do, I don't know if you realize the trend.
There's a
It
trend
all
with
leads
mental
back
health.
to
Yeah.
mental health.
There is a trend here.
Y'all gotta
guys.
get y'all shit checked out. Like, don't be embarrassed to say that you need a therapist. Real talk.
Honestly,
It's there to help you, people.
honestly.
Fucking do it.
honestly, because there's been so much that
you have to pull back on how much weed you buy for the week so that you can have your coke paid. Then just do what the fuck you gotta do.
Do what you gotta do, guys.
Do what you gotta do.
Make it happen.
Make it happen
because it's important. So go back and watch episode 12. Podcast These Nuts. Tawana Brawley and Jussie Smollett story.
Dope episode.
Okay. So guys, ask these nuts. Hashtag ask these nuts. Okay. Hey, if you have a question, if you have a story you want us to tell, if there's something you want us to look into, you got into some shit you needed to know how to get out of it. Ask these nuts. Okay. So drop us a line in the comment section. You know, you can send us an email. You can go to our website. Okay. Go to the contact us section at the tvtakeover.live/podcast.
Okay.
All right. Go there and drop us or send us an email at pdnpodcast@gmail.com. Okay,
so let me go ahead and give you your moment of props. Yes, she changed our email. For those of you that are loyal listeners, you'll know that in one of the episodes, she made it very clear how much she hated our original email.
The original email address is like POOODEEEEZZZZZ and UUUTTT. Like she literally put 30 letters of foolishness. And I question, why do I know her? Who would do something like this? So me. I need organization, okay? Not only was the email address ridiculous.
I love her.
On top of that, when you send an email, it says Wendy What?
I was trying to be romantic.
Wendy Young. Then what is that? So when people get an email from us, it's going to come up as Wendy Young. I mean, come on. What is that?
Okay.
What?
But the name.
The POOODEE, like all of that?
It doesn't sound like it has the Asian.
No.
Like Wendy Young. No.
Oh, Wendy Young.
Never mind.
Girl, I can't even believe you and wrap me up in your foolishness. No. Okay, it just sounds dumb. Okay. There's no ethnic background behind it. It just sounds dumb. So
I had you for a second.
Not dumb. Okay, let me push back because then she's gonna say, well, you going in on me. Okay, I didn't mean it like that. So let's just back that on up right now.
So we're gonna bring our personal conversations into the radio.
Backing up, rewind, X that. I did not call it dumb. All I'm saying is it didn't make the most sense to me. As Wendy Williams would say, she was being less than smart in this moment. Okay. So I changed it so that it reads Podcast These Nuts as it should. And I created a new email address because I do things that I would like to do in life and have our email address look like a hot ass mess. So yes, guys, we have a new address. We said all of that to say we have a new email address. It's PDN Podcast. That's PODCAST.
I was giving you your props. Like this was totally a moment for you, and you just made it a moment about me and tore me to filth.
Oh, did I?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I was just speaking my truth and what I was going through, what I was feeling. I tell her all the time. Sometimes I be thinking some crazy shit about you. I tell her that. And let's not even, I can't even say what I want to say right now because she's been doing some activities that I don't agree with, okay? But we're not even going to get into that, guys. We're not going to get into that. We're going to move on. So, guys, hashtag ask these nuts. Get at us. Ask us questions. We're here for y'all.
Have a conversation.
Clearly, we need to have a moment. Here she goes. Because we can't, listen, I'm telling you now, I'm not into it.
Okay.
How's your feelings right now?
I'll behave.
Okay, guys. So, yeah.
I'm back.
She's getting into her role. She's playing victim, and she's doing the shell thing instead of coming out. She's going in. So it's too much,
and that's why it's so important to have that balance in a friendship because you need real people in your life that's not afraid to check you.
Well, we heard some people get checked, and sometimes it's good to get a check, a good check-in.
You thought you were going to get me on here and hijack me.
You are the Tyson Beckford.
You got the wrong person, dog.
You are the Tyson Beckford of the protest.
I'm not some of these soft guys you done had on here that you think you can talk anything to. I come from the hardest streets of America. And if you think you're going to send me back to the streets fueling these nonsensical rumors that come in
I'm
a
not
tabloid,
fueling anything, but I'm
about
just
the
listening.
other tabloid article where I'm supposed to beating up the Reverend, me and Reverend Jackson jumped on a preacher in L.A. You didn't see that?
No.
Or you just too fixated on drugs and sex to discuss that? Is that your problem?
I
You
didn't
got
see
a
that
real
one.
fixation with drugs and sex, and that's all you talk about from what I understand
Tell
on
us-
your show.
tell us
And
about
now
the
we know
beatdown.
why you had all those 8 abortions.
Out of the courtroom right now.
My God, do you have any spirituality in you at all?
Tell
you
us
need to
about-
go to church. What church do you go
Tell
to?
us about
Because you
this-
need God in your life.
Tell us
That's
about
what
the
you need.
beatdown,
And I'm
Judge.
not mad. Anyone that knows my show know that I don't take any disrespect or I don't let anybody say anything they want to me without me checking them real strong and real tough. And that's what you're getting today, Wendy. You're getting a real good checking. All right, which is what you need, and quite frankly, it's overdue. You get folks on your show, and you just think you can talk and say anything you want to them. Well, that's what I do on my show, and my show has higher ratings than yours. So I'm trumping
It's very
you today.
interesting.
I'm
Part of it-
trumping you today.
No, you're not
and I'm
trumping
letting
me,
you know
Judge.
that you're gonna have to listen. 'Cause I'm
You're
giving the
actually
orders. I
not
am
trumping
the
anything.
judge.
What me and my audience talk about we talk about on a regular basis, and it's actually very comical to me. All of the protesting you're doing. It's almost like that saying, "Thou dost protest too much."
Being checked. You understand me clearly. This is called when you think that you can just treat people unfairly and say what you want.
I am not saying what I want to you. I simply asked you about this
Let me tell you
woman,
what you've done.
and you immediately jumped
You tried to spit.
to the highest
I tell you
of
what I immediately
protestivity
did. I tell you what I
about
immediately did.
something.
No.
WBLS New
I
York.
immediately told you that it was untrue, and I told you that it was tabloid trash, which all public figures have to endure.
Right.
And then you continue to want to talk about it for 10 more minutes, and I informed you that you were fueling rumors by continuing to talk about it,
No, 'cause
thereby
I wanted to
damaging my reputation.
No,
and
no,
I'm not
no.
going to let you do that.
Every now and then. But yeah, speaking of,
getting checked.
let's just go right on into episode
Let's
13.
get it
We talking
to
about
it.
Wendy Williams, y'all.
Oh my God.
So speaking about check, what you want to say about that? So guys, I'm sure you know and have heard thus far everything that's going on with Wendy Williams.
It's a
so
lot.
unfortunately,
a
she
lot.
is hitting one of those roadblocks in life where she's in a sober house.
Allegedly.
She said it. She's in a sober living house. She's in a sober house. She is working on some things. So let's just talk about what was going on. Or did you want to talk about the checkage that happened some time ago?
No, I want to
before we get into the juice of it all.
I want you to do. I like how you builded it up.
Okay.
I like how you builded it up.
All right. So we're going to talk about Wendy Williams. And I mean, there was tea spillage everywhere.
Oh my God,
about
yeah.
what's going on with Wendy Williams. I mean, it's been blogged about, written about, televised.
Everywhere.
It is
Everywhere.
hot right now. So Daily Mail is one because they've been up in Kevin Hunter's ass. Okay.
Yeah.
And they've been collecting receipts.
It
That's
is
what Daily Mail has been
everywhere.
doing. That's like almost the source of a lot of the information, from pictures to, people who they've talked to or gotten their sources, who they've gotten information from. So yeah, Daily Mail, they've been up their ass. Unwine with TashaK. I love her.
First of all,
love her.
Shout out to her. Like I've
love
seen her
her.
growth, and
Yes.
it feels so good to be a woman that's in the same industry, same type of drive. Like she's been consistent. If you
Yeah.
go back, she goes back years.
Yes,
You
she's
know
been
what I
doing
mean?
her
and
thing.
the R. Kelly thing, when R. Kelly docuseries aired, because that was something she focused on for so
for
long.
a while,
Yeah.
well before
Oh, yeah.
people were really
They're
getting
talking
into
about it.
Yeah.
So when you go and you Google her, she dominated that, in searches, and she blew up. So we got some tea on that, don't we?
So guys, we found out, at least early this morning, I was up on YouTube as I do, 12 o'clock in the morning, refresh. Oh, Unwine with TashaK is being sued by Cardi B.
Cardi B, y'all.
So I believe she did talk about it, if I'm not mistaken. I think she did come out with something on it today. The only reason why I say that is because when I was perusing YouTube, when I was looking for that Judge Mathis versus Wendy Williams checkage situation.
Y'all, we're going to play some for you. We have to.
I mean, Judge Mathis got in her ass. This was back when she was a radio host. Charlamagne was also on the show. But not only did he get with her.
He got with Charlamagne the God.
He got with Charlamagne.
Yeah.
Now, I will say Wendy Williams held her own, because let me tell you something.
Yes,
okay. She took that cussing.
Yes.
All right, or that check-in, as he said. Back. She took the check-in and she made sure she kept going back to her question. So, do you know her or no? Right. I hear everything else that you said. You haven't done no crack. Okay. Fine. I had some abortions. Well, damn, I didn't put 8 in the book, but okay, I hear you. Right. Yes, but do you know her?
Right.
Yes or no?
Right. But after all of that has been said and done, sir, I still would like to know, do you know her or no?
Okay.
Do you know her?
So I appreciate that, that she goes for the question. And Charlamagne talks about this in his book, Black Privilege, that, they really are for the people. And he's on something that he got from Wendy, because she's for the people. And he is the same way in how he presents himself and how he interviews guests on his show. He's going to ask the questions that people really want to know, right? And that's their niche, that's their draw.
His life was threatened, and
of course, with everything
ran
else
up on him and threatened him because of the fact that he did that. Like, that's who he was. He didn't hold back. He said the things that were disrespectful, like the discussion of the conversation that we're going to have you guys hear a little bit of later. When this man, he didn't give a fuck. Judge who? He treated him like he was an elementary school boy. Charlamagne is ruthless. He is ruthless.
Yeah, it was definitely something else. Definitely something to watch. But Tasha K. I didn't know. What I thought I saw was not her. This is somebody talking about Unwine with Tasha K and the whole Cardi B thing. That was a new thing that I saw, a newer one. But so Cardi B and her, they got that situation going on. So she's one of the sources. Unwine with Tasha K. Also Daytime, Tea Time, Impressive, and Radar Online. So these are the sources of which we got the information for today's show. So we about to go in. Wendy Williams. All right. So the question we want to ask, after hearing everything that we've heard about Wendy Williams, her husband, the ultimate question is Wendy Williams in an abusive relationship? So that's what we're going to get into. Okay. But we, of course, got to give you the backstory. Right. So here's just a snippet of what's been going on. So Wendy Williams is married to Kevin Hunter, her husband, manager, and partner in her businesses and the talk show.
Right. How long you said? About 20-something years?
20-something years. Like, they've been together for a very long time. She even posted a picture on her show when she was, this is her talking about what's going on in her relationship. Right. I heard what's going on in the streets. I hear what y'all saying. She doesn't say specifically. She's like, but I hear what y'all saying out there. It's like, as long as you see this ring on this finger, don't ask me nothing about my marriage, okay? Because that means we together. Yeah. Okay, people go through things. But let me show you this picture right here. Yeah. And this is a picture back when she was heavy set. Like, she was like, look, this is how far we go back. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So thank you very much.
Wow.
Okay, holler at me when this is gone.
Right.
Okay? Until then, mind your business. It's basically what she said.
That's exactly what she said.
Mind your business. Okay.
Exactly what she said.
But, also at the same time, people think that she should go in, you know, and give the details. We want to know, is he cheating on you or not? Okay. What's going on? Answer the question, ma'am.
Right.
Is he cheating? Do you know what's going on? Is that why you're in the sober house? We want to know.
Mrs.
You for the people. Okay. So be about the people.
Mrs. Keep It Real.
Hello. We want to know.
Yeah.
Directly. Specifically.
Hello.
All right. You know about Sharina or no?
Do you?
Okay. So,
on top of everything you just said.
Now,
that's fine.
Because Kevin Hunter.
Yeah.
Okay. Because Kevin Hunter is a partner, executive producer on the show. I mean, she could only say but so much.
He would shut it down.
Can he not shut it down?
Absolutely.
I mean, can she just go on a rant about her husband, even if she wants to be like this nigga? Because y'all know niggas ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Okay?
Yeah. Well,
and we talked about that.
So I think that's probably why it would be hard for her. Because she could do it.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't air unless somebody leaked it.
Right. So, and people do record in their studios because we've seen that on some of the channels we watch. But you know, he's very intertwined in her business and everything that's going on. Yeah. So it's been said for some time now that he has a mistress named Sharina Hudson. Okay, for over 10 years, who allegedly has had multiple abortions from him. Okay, she has a home purchased by Kevin, allegedly. Yes, ma'am. People are saying she's currently pregnant from Kevin now.
That's the house that was like that's only 9 miles from his residence with Wendy. Right?
Yeah, very close to where they live. Yeah, and she's apparently pregnant now. That's what's going on and being said out there.
That's rough.
And that's why Wendy is in a lot of pain right now. That's why she's, you know, looking tore down emotionally, or this is what may have led her back to the sober house, or you know, why she's in this situation. So there's a lot of dealings with Kevin and this supposed girl. And just recently, you know, there was a selfie, basically a picture that she took with him and her chucking up the deuces in Florida recently, since it looks like it was when Wendy got into the sober house, but it may have been before. But either way, she out here just like chucking up the deuces like it's all to the good. She posed up with a married man. What's wrong with you? Oh, come on now. Now, you know, that's one thing. So the cheating and all of that, that's gone. And they were actually, Sharina and Kevin Hunter, Wendy's husband, were introduced by Charlamagne.
Now let me tell you something. There's no way that this man could be in a relationship with this other woman for 10 years. I think that Wendy Williams has known that this woman existed. I think that she just made it okay because her husband made her realize you don't have a choice. Right. It's either both of us or you're by yourself.
And we're married. So look, do what you're doing.
Right.
Just don't bring no shit over here to me.
Right. But I think it escalated. That man probably maybe started to fall in love with the mistress. And really, when the mistress decided to keep this baby after how many abortions?
I mean, I don't know. Because Kevin got money. He's partner. You know, he has money. He's getting percentages. You know, so it's not as if he's broke. Right.
So maybe he's at a point where he's ready to walk away.
For some reason think he is. I'm pretty sure the dude got money.
Maybe he's at a point where he think he's ready to walk away, and Wendy's realizing it, and she's losing her fucking mind because that's all she knows.
Right.
Nobody wants to be trying to, you know, to be dating or
starting over at 50. Yeah. Who wants to do that? We have a child together. We can get through this. Let's try to get through it. So I'm not married. Each to each his own. You got to choose, you know, your poison. But it sounds a little controlling there in that situation, though. Yes. Because he's owned so much. I mean, how real can you be? How much can you give to the people that you claim to want to speak the truth to? And you know, back on that same audio where Judge Mathis checked her, she talked about keeping it 100% real with her audience. So with that said, keep it 100. We want to know. Right. Okay. What's going on with cheating, girl?
Right.
What's going on?
Just keep it real.
Just keep it real. Tell us that power. That's what we really want to know about.
Good nigga.
Just tell us.
Just tell us he's a no good nigga.
Just like how you talk about everybody else shit.
Talk about yours.
Now, when she went into the sober house, when she talked about going into the sober house, she did not, though, specifically say that she's currently on drugs. She said that she's had some issues or some problems in the past. So who knows? So so if you don't know, Wendy Williams was out of her show for about 3 months. She took a 3-month break, right?
So like Nick Cannon
Christmas season, Nick Cannon filled in and some other guests.
So cute.
And she was only supposed to take 2 weeks off for the Christmas holiday, but towards the end, she started to feel ill. She says her thyroid started to act up. They had to readjust her meds. You know, she has Graves' disease.
I remember that.
Is it her balance? Something else? I forget the name of it.
She's old.
To do that, but
she's old. Well, no, she's just 50.
And so she's had some issues. So she said she had to stay out for she ended up staying out for 3 months. Yeah. So she comes back on March 4th.
Right.
March 19th.
Yeah.
She's saying she was in the sober house.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is what she does every day. She goes back and forth to the show and her appointments and her Pilates and back to the sober house. So
I don't believe it.
People think that this could be a plot. There are those who think that this is a plot. That's me. He has a lot of control, this Kevin guy.
He does.
Okay.
He does.
You know, because it's being said that the reason why she can't be as real as she wants to be and can't give it to the people the way that she would in every other situation is because of the amount of control that he has, that he even has active control in what she can say or how far she can go on the show. As an executive producer,
he's smart. He knows what he's doing.
That's control.
That's why they've been together for 10 years.
Yeah.
Because he knows what he's doing.
So, you know, again, as we ask this question, is this a sign? Is this a sign of abuse, the amount of control that he has? Or is this just a great partnership? I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, so she's had a lot going on.
That's a fair question to ask. Because if it is a form of abuse, then these women, they need to know that it's not okay, because sometimes women stay in situations because they don't think that it's being abused, because they think abuse
they
is
think
just
it's
physical.
normal. They may feel like it's normal, especially if they've been people who are susceptible to abuse are those who've been abused themselves in the past. So
or have witnessed abuse for a long time,
or witnessed abuse for a long time. So, you know, there's a cycle there within it, which is very unfortunate. So who knows if she's been through anything like this? I don't know. I'm not saying that's what her situation was, but certainly, you know, a lot of times some people, it's difficult for them to see the level of control that someone has over them, and may get lost because of the love and everything else that's going on in the relationship. But again, some may just say, hey, this is how I like to do things. I want to be neck and neck, you know, next to each other doing everything. So who knows? Maybe that's what they like. So Kevin, so let's talk about him. So some other signs that things are just not too right with him outside of the cheating, which obviously, you know, is being alleged that he's out here cheating and is out here with this girl, and alleged that he has her pregnant and all this stuff. You know, what type of damage does it do to a person who's being cheated on? And we talked about this before when we talked about when we had the male perspective shows, and when we had the show about cheating, about how devastating it can be, right? So think about her going through that, or even just it being out there, just to even have to deal with it. Even, let's just say for one quick second that it wasn't true. Just the emotions attached to all of that can be very draining for somebody. It can be extremely stressful.
Very damaging.
Okay. So you can only imagine what she's going through, just to even have to deal with this, whether it's true or not. It's a lot to go through. So Kevin, her mother-in-law, his mama, said that he's been physically abusive. Kevin Hunter's mother has said that he has been physically abusive to Wendy.
Wow. So she said that she's witnessed her son beating on Wendy's ass, basically.
I don't remember if it was that specifically, but basically she says she knows that, you know, at some level that he is abusing her. Wow. You know, so it doesn't sound good. And these are things that are out there online talking about her mother-in-law, his mother, and the things that she said about physical violence between the two of them. Kevin has been known to be a very aggressive person. This is part of the reason why Charlamagne ended their business relationship. You know, he was very aggressive in negotiations. You know, Charlamagne wasn't really leaning towards the same levels that he was looking for in terms of what he thought he was worth. You know, he was like, thank you for thinking that I'm worth this much, but let me start here. This is how I want to do things. This is how I want to approach it. Right. And Kevin's angle was more aggressive than his, and his spirit wasn't taking well. The energy wasn't there. He was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take this meeting by myself. And he felt like it was the best thing that he could have ever done. And people asked him, and they were like, okay, good. You made a really good decision, you know, coming in this way, in the way that you did. Right. And then Kevin sends him this text message, I don't fuck with you anymore, something like that. Delete, lose my number. Charlamagne tried to reach out to him. He never hit him back. So he said he did what the man told him to do. He deleted the number. Right. You know? Yeah. So that's where they just kind of fell out. He doesn't know for what reason. Like he said, I would love to say that I know it, but I don't know.
To date.
I don't know. Wow. He's never told me.
Wow.
So I can't tell you what the problem is. I won't know what it is until he tells me, which is some real shit. Wow. You're right. So anyway, again, fallout. You know, guy known to be aggressive, Kevin. Okay, so now Nicole Spence, who used to work with Wendy, accused Kevin of sexual harassment and physically abusing Wendy. She claims that Kevin hired a hitman to murder Hot 97 radio host, and Wendy supposedly asked the same hitman to murder her husband. Okay, stop. Isn't that crazy?
Hold on. Let me ask. How do people know this? Like, where does this
on Radar Online is the actual court documents.
Oh,
so you were able. I read it. Okay. This is what she claimed. I mean, you can claim whatever the fuck. This is what she claimed. To prove it is a whole nother thing. So this came out in a lawsuit that was filed back in 2008. Kevin and Wendy denied the allegations, of course.
Right.
And the case was dismissed with prejudice. So that means it's dismissed permanently. They can't bring it back up into court again. This is done. This is a wrap.
Like, we're not talking about this anymore.
We're not talking about this no more. Okay. So that was the end result of that lawsuit. But again, someone who is close to Kevin and Wendy saying that he's been physical with Wendy, and then they on some hitman level type shit. Like that is a crazy allegation. I mean, that's out crazy. There for an employer. This is your employer. This is work. Hi, HR. Ring-a-ling. They're trying to kill people. They on some hitman shit, y'all. What do we do? Is there an ombudsman person for this? I mean, how do we handle this, guys? Right. Honestly, like that's some crazy shit. That's a lot. So yeah, it was dismissed. But again, here people talk about this guy is aggressive.
Yeah.
And abusive.
Yeah.
And too north.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So based on all these things that I'm hearing, I don't know. It's not looking good for her relationship. It seems very controlling, very abusive.
And quite frankly, I don't think he wants her. I mean, I don't think that man's really starting Wendy.
I don't know. So if you go to the National Domestic Violence, there is a National Domestic Violence Hotline. Mm-hmm. And domestic violence includes, and I'm reading this verbatim, domestic violence includes behaviors that physically fear, prevent a partner from doing they wish, or force them to behave in ways they do not want. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I thought about that. It's like, yeah, what about her show? Can she be as free as she wants to be because of, the amount of control he has? And even with having that control, why can't she be honest about what's going on with them? I mean, if you are you
like, what's on the line? What's on the line?
Or why can't you, even if you're going to lie and cover for him, say, I know that you guys are here, they're thinking that he's cheating, but he's not. We are not going through that. These are all false allegations. I don't know what's going on out here. Like, that's that.
But she said that just in her own way. In her own way.
She doesn't address it directly.
That's what I said, in her own way.
No, understood.
But people want to hear her actually say.
People want to hear her. That's the question. Like going back to Judge Mathis.
Right.
And how Judge Mathis was answering the question. He talking about everything else except that specific thing that I asked.
Right.
Because that's what kind of builds the relationship and makes the connection between those two people you want to know.
Right. Right.
Do you know specifically what's going on? Because we want to hear about it. Right. So those attributes. It goes on to say it includes the use of physical and sexual violence, threats and intimidation, emotional abuse, and economic deprivation. Mm-hmm. Okay. Many of these different forms of domestic violence or / abuse can be occurring at any one time within the same intimate relationship. Wow. So there's a lot of things that just doesn't feel right.
Right.
When you think about how domestic violence or is being defined.
Right.
Or, that abuse, whether it's emotional or physical, sexual, there's so many different ways that a person can be abused in a relationship. But just listening to all these allegations and things that are going on, one would think that she is in an abusive relationship. So, what do you do? I mean,
definitely the red flags are there. Mm-hmm.
Definitely a lot of red flags.
Everything that we discussed is being displayed in the relationship, and it's been exposed. Mm-hmm. There's receipts for this from years back.
So nearly 15% of women and 4% of men have been injured as a result of IPV, and that's intimate partner. That's an intimate partner violence that included rape, physical violence, and or stalking by an intimate partner in their lifetime. So there's a lot of abusive situations out there. Unfortunately, hopefully, of course, her situation isn't this deep, or at least to an extreme level of violence. I would say, but there's a lot that goes on with men, women who are in these situations. So how do you help someone that you feel is being abused? So here's some tips from the Domestic Violence Hotline. Acknowledge they are in a very difficult and scary situation and be supportive and listen. Just empathy goes a long way in trying to help people who are going through situations that you really can't imagine. You think you know what you would do, but you really don't know what you would do until you're faced in that situation.
There's a lot of things that play into relationships. When you think about what makes a relationship so intimate. It's knowing someone and someone seeing your growth and knowing your secrets, and they've created that bond. So I think that's what probably hurts her the most about it, is losing that, because you only get that maybe once in a lifetime. And it has to be heartbreaking to know that you're losing that. And I think she's just in a place where she's realizing she's losing it, and she's breaking. She needs mental health. She needs mental health.
So be non-judgmental. If they end the relationship, continue to be supportive. Encourage them to participate in activities outside of the relationship with friends and family, because that's another thing that they've said, that he tries to isolate her. And she had, not even her parents, her family knew about her sober house situation. But in other examples, it's been said that he limits her exposure. She doesn't get to go to events as much as some other celebrities probably, in her field would be going to. I don't know if it's just a genuine, purposeful, thing from her to not actually want to go to these events, or is it truly him controlling her? And people are saying that it's him. He's the one that's controlling her and dictating what events she goes
serious,
to.
Y'all.
So try to encourage people to step outside of their circle. Help them develop a safety plan. And that's what we talk about. You really don't know what you're going to do until you're in this situation. Well, you should know. You should have a safety plan. So those are things that, people should
What would your
about.
safety plan be?
I would hope, I am one that I do not like to feel trapped. Any situation where I feel trapped, I have to go. I have to leave. That's just who I am naturally. Like I just can't. I can't have people telling me where to be and what time. Like I need to be free to do my own thing. Like that feels safe to me. I don't like that in any way. Like just like I don't like small cars. I don't like to be in big stores because it's too overwhelming. Like I just like to be in more. I like to have control. That's just me. So it would be hard for me to see, to give up control to people. Like even sometimes, people. I'm close with someone in a relationship that, oh, you should do this and oh, you should do that. I'm like, okay, good idea, but no.
It's true.
No, I'm not doing it. And then they feel away because they think that you should agree. And I'm like, okay, hey, can we agree to disagree? It's a great idea, but it's not for me.
Right. And that should be okay.
That should be okay.
Like,
why make me feel bad because I don't agree with you? I'm not saying that it's a bad idea.
Right.
I'm just saying it's not what I want to do.
Right.
And I'm going to do what I want to do. Okay. Now, if you suggest something that I think is dope and I should do it right now, then I'll do it right now. Until then, we're going to go ahead and put that over to the side. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Now let's move on, because this is what I'm going to do.
Right.
So I don't know.
Right.
So that for me is just instinctively is just who I am as a person. Is how my brain is wired.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't work for me.
That's what
not
makes you dope,
for
friend.
any amount of love, because I've been engaged. I mean, I've been through these things in life, but no, you're not going to. No, this is not going to work for me. Okay, then.
Yeah.
See you later. So I'm also though trying to make sure that I compromise too and listen to people, but that's a whole nother situation. But having a safety plan. Back to your question, do I think? Would that be? I just don't even think I would fall into this situation. But if I was in an abusive situation, I would definitely fight back. I will call the police. I have no problems doing that. You touch me, I will call them. Okay? I will assert my rights as a citizen of the United States of America, and I get to call 911 when I am being assaulted. I'm not making up shit. I'm telling you this is what's happening to me right now.
So you have the right to call 911,
and I'm going to call the police.
Right?
Okay.
You have the right.
I have the right.
You have the right.
So act right, okay? Now.
Yeah.
So I will exercise my rights. Right. So part of my safety plan would be to get safety for myself. So if that's calling 911, if that's finding some sort of escape route, trying to leave the city, my plan is exit. Exit strategy is, for me, my plan is always to go. I'm always ready to go, because I just feel like, one, it helps to de-escalate the situation as much as you possibly can, because you're walking away from the situation, and I'm not going to engage with you. I'm just not going to engage, because I don't care no more. If this is where we are, I just need to stop caring, because this is crazy. Not to say it's not going to hurt later on, but right now, I'm not going to do this with you guys.
Right.
Say what you got to say, even if there's things to be said, and just and move on. Absolutely. So that would be my safety plan. Call 911 as needed, and figure out my exit strategy. Yeah. And, try to do some of these other things that are suggested, try to, reconnect with my outer circle. If I was in a situation where I was limited in who I could speak with, I was isolated. So, those things as well, because these are all helpful tips and suggestions on what people can do. But I mean, we'll see what will continue to develop with this whole Wendy Williams situation. Yeah. Of course, if you are being abused, someone who's being abused, I would definitely recommend that you check out the National Domestic Violence Hotline and get some tips on what you can do. You can even be placed with a local counselors in your area to help you out. So as we said, a lot of times these topics and issues end up going back to mental health. Yes. Because it's really, really important. It drives so much because it's about behavior, and it drives so much of what we do. So, when you look at a situation, you see what's going on, you always have to ask the why, because if you don't get to why, you don't get to the root cause to try to really understand what's going on. Right. So same way we tell stories, and when we have the conversations on the podcast, we look at what's going on. Wendy Williams, why is she going through all of these things? What's going on around her?
One of the things that I want to make sure that they know that we don't intend on doing is just to talk about people just to be evil. Right. If we're going to be having a discussion about a person, we're going to actually discuss the area of opportunity, but we're also going to kind of see behind it. There's always a reason. There's usually some sort of hurt or a backstory, not necessarily justifying the situation, but making you understand, because we're all human.
Exactly. It's just to understand where each person is coming from, because as she said, we are all human. We all go through things and take things differently. People aren't all calibrated the same. So we have to be flexible and be willing to listen and understand and try to find out why and what's really going on. So that way you can really get to healing, making the corrections that you need to make, because you don't know what behaviors to change if you don't even know what's going on with you. Like you wouldn't even know what to do. Right. So what are you attacking? You're not even attacking the real problem. So that's what we try to look at is, the deeper issue, the why, what's going on, and root cause. And a lot of times is, again, mental health.
Goes back to mental health.
Back to that again. So it just tells you how important it is. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
We appreciate the discussion. Really it was a lot of tea in this one. I have to say, this one has some heavy tea. Oh, but we really hope
and you actually do have your teacup sitting there coincidentally.
I do. Coincidentally,
Bessie, as usual, once again, you delivered. You really be bringing it when I tell you every single week. These topics are on point. I love the discussions. I learned so much from you. You're so smart, Bessie. I love watching you. You're beautiful. You're beautiful when you do your thing.
I try.
My mouth is dry. But guys, thank you so much for joining us at Podcast These Nuts. We are here every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Catch us on SoundCloud, Facebook, YouTube, Google Podcasts. Oh, wait. We forgot to give the tea. Guess what? We have a brand new logo.
Yay. Yes, guys, we love our new logo. So shout out to Demographics for coming up with our lovely logo. It's a really great combination of both what Jodie and I wanted, and it really meshed well and came out together. Just like what we do here every night. Every night. Every week.
Thursday. Oh
every Thursday, 8:30.
I can't do it every night.
Listen, guys. Sorry, it's late.
Yeah, it is.
My bad.
But thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks for joining,
Podcast These Nuts.
Podcast These Nuts.
Good night.
Bye, y'all.
Deuces. I said a peace. Hey, I said a peace. I said a peace out. Peace out. Peace out. I said a peace out. Oh, peace. No. You don't want
it. If you was doing the rock and roll thing, I wasn't feeling it.
Okay, so stick to the hip hop. I said a peace. Do reggae?
Let's not. Let's just cut.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.